This is Fitness and Health, Session 2, Question 3. This is a graphical challenge. The question says, of all the doctor's patients pictured in the graph, how many are overweight but not obese? So in other words, how many are above the ideal weight but not obese? So they're asking us to find out how many are overweight but not obese. So let's take a look at the graph. This graph tells us it's showing us the weight range that determines obesity, or obesity as being dangerously overweight. So let's take a look at what this graph is showing us. If we look at what the different colored lines and different colored dots mean, we see that we don't need to know which dots represent male and female, so we're not going to confuse ourselves with those. Looking here, we see that the blue line is the lower limit of the ideal weight. So in other words, if your dot is under that weight, if you're a patient under that line, you're actually underweight. You need to gain some weight to be at a healthy weight. So that is the lower limit of your ideal weight. This yellow line is the upper limit of the ideal weight. So if you fall in between the blue and that orangish yellow line, you're at a healthy weight. But they're not asking us about those. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that information because those are the people who are at an ideal healthy weight. Okay, so what they are asking us about is the people who are between the upper limit of the ideal weight but they're below the obesity limit. Because if they're above the obesity limit, it means they are obese. But the question is asking us, who are the patients who are overweight but not obese? So looking at the graph there, all we have to do is count the circles that each one represents a patient to find out how many of them are overweight but are not obese.